Yo, 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 Salaam nerds. We are here with part 2 of Love is Blind. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, speaking of flaws, let's talk about what we're all here for. Let's talk about Deeps and Shake. I'm rolling my eyes at these names, which is...
You can't. You gotta give their real names. Shake.
And Deepti.
What was his last name?
And Deepti.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of Shake's last name. I cannot remember it for the life of me right now. Not Bachchan. Get out.
Might as well, you know.
No.
Typical Indian name. We'll give him the Patel.
It was like different. It had like multiple syllables.
So someone commented on my TikTok, and they were like, "How are you going to take a beautiful name like Deepti and turn it into Deeps?" And I'm like, "The same way you take a name like Abhishek and turn it into an ice cream beverage." Like,
every time I hear Shake, I think Shake Shack.
Yeah,
automatically.
I think Shake Weight.
I think Shake Shack automatically. But all of them, can we talk about why they both decided to have white names that are easier for people to pronounce?
So here's the thing.
Are you gonna go there?
Okay,
I am going there.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay,
let's go.
I do feel like there's a big difference between Shake and Deepti, because I don't remember Deepti ever saying that she goes by Deep. I think Abhishek just started calling her that.
Yeah.
He just called her that without asking her, with nothing. So I don't think that's on her.
At the dinner at her parents' house, they're all calling her by her name, and he continues to say Deeps. No one else does.
Yes. So that's not on her. That's on Shake Boy.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Shake Boy. What do we think about Shake Boy and his? I'm not physically attracted to her, but I love you.
Okay.
I'm not attracted to you, but I love you.
You know what I really hate? He keeps saying the word animalistic attraction, right? Motherfucker, you're a vet. What are you doing to these animals?
Loving them. That's all.
Like I need to know.
Not attracted to him, but loving him.
Oh.
I would not take my animal to this guy.
God no.
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 Oh man.
My dog's not pretty enough. He's not gonna treat him right. Get out.
Yeah. It's like it's too fat. I can't put him on my shoulders. Nope. You're out.
This cat reminds me of my aunt. Like I can't.
Out you go, cat.
I feel like when they first are introduced, that she would really put him in his place, because the edit that they were given is, like he's talking to all these women and they're just taking his shit, basically. They're like, he's making these jokes at them. And by the way, side note, I know there was like a meme going around comparing him to Michael Scott, but
yes.
The vibe he gave me was a Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Like when I was in there, I was thinking, I'm like, this is something Barney would say, like if he was in the pods, like trying to figure out like their physical appearance, like what do they look like can I hold you, can you like work out with me, can I put you on my shoulders,
it's
just
so
to, like,
funny because like when we watch shows, we like people like Barney, we like people like Michael Scott, we like people like Tom Haverford, but when you see these people in real life, that shit does not translate. That shit is obnoxious, it is toxic, it is annoying. We don't put up with it. But on TV shows, we're like, oh yeah, it's pretend, it's funny, right? But
exactly.
I think this guy thinks like he watches these shows and he thinks that that's how people should act, and that's problematic.
Exactly. So when they're first introduced, he says something like that to her, like, oh, can I put you on my shoulders or something like that, and she says that's a little insensitive. So I'm like, wow, good for you. You put him in his place. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna start out well. She's gonna call him out for what he is.
She checked him.
And then, fast forward, I'm seeing when they're meeting and she's talking about him and she's so self-conscious the whole time. And the whole edit is just her talking about how, like, oh, is he gonna like me? He places so much emphasis on physical appearance. What if he doesn't like me? What if he doesn't think I'm beautiful? And it's him. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? What happened to you, Deepti? You were just putting him in his place 5 minutes ago. I know it was 5 minutes ago to me, and it was probably, I don't know how long for them.
Right,
but I was just like, what happened? I was rooting for you. Come on, girl power. You should have put him in his place. For you.
Like the Tyra Banks meme.
What just happened? I don't know what happened, but during that period of time, if somebody wants to comment, but that was my just initial reaction to when they first met, to when they reached to the proposal.
But the thing
let's
is,
go to our psychologist So for a comment on that, because I know you're itching to say something.
Yeah, let's go serendipity.
Serendipity.
I like it.
And he knows the reference, but they were only in the pods for what, like 3 days total? 4 days total, because they took
I think they were there for 2 weeks.
No, the entire thing was a week, because Mallory talks about it at one point that she was gone for a week from work. So they were in the pods for a few days, and then they went on their honeymoon, and then they went back to their places.
Okay.
So it's when you're meeting someone, especially if you can't see them, you can be defensive. You can say, what the hell are you talking about? But then all her insecurities came out with her weight that she has mentioned that she struggled with. And it was like, oh my God, someone likes me. I have to win him. And it's all about him. And it's continuously all about him. He continues to be an ass. I don't know anything about what she does, what she likes, where she wants to live. It's, oh, you want 2 kids? Okay, we'll have 2 kids. You want to live in the city? We'll live in the city. You want to open your hospital? I'll support you. But girl, where are you at? What is your career? Do you want 2 kids? Do you want 10? Do you want to live in the city? You want to move away?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Do you want to be called thieves? Like, where?
Yeah, right?
She lost her identity completely when she didn't even correct him on his name, on her name.
And I think a lot of that is because he's just constantly love bombing her, right? He's just like saying all these things and saying he's so attracted to her and then being so physical with her. I think she's just like overwhelmed by it and she's like taken aback. And I think a lot of that is from that.
Yeah. And a lot of insecurities.
So I just looked it up and they date in the pods for 10 days. So it's 10 days.
Oh, is that okay?
So it's not too bad. So you were not too far off. But here's the thing, right? A lot of the stuff that they talk about is I don't know how much I feel like what happened in the pod was real, right? When like they first brought up like, oh, I only date white people. She's like, oh, I only date white people too. She said it as a reaction to him. He's the one that keeps bringing it up. I don't think she would have had a problem like dating somebody who was not brown, but he was the one that brought it up. And I feel like she's getting the same heat and the level of hate that he gets, and I don't think that's fair. Like, I feel like there is some internalized racism there, maybe there is some stuff there, but not at the level of Shake. I think a lot of the stuff she would not have brought up if it wasn't for Shake himself bringing it up.
What do you call those couples where one completely adapts to the other person?
Codependency.
That's a rephrase for this.
Yeah.
Codependency is right. There has to be a term for someone who just completely changes who they are for someone else.
Yeah. But basically, you're saying that she starts mirroring him a little bit, right? As it. So moving along. So let's talk about the whole race issue, right? So the whole race issue is happening, and these guys definitely. It's so corny and cringe when they bring it up, the way they bring it up, and it's strange. So here's the thing: dating somebody white is not an issue, right? The issue is how they're talking about it, right? The way they're so flippant about it, the way, like, people are saying, like, a lot of people are saying that it's almost like a flex, right? Because there is this subconscious thing that if white people find this person attractive, then they must be more attractive because they're blind, right? They can't see. So if this guy is saying, oh, I date a lot of white girls, he's trying to make her think that, oh, you know, the bar for white women to date brown men is higher, so he must be above average looking. He's trying to make her think that. And that's what I feel is happening. And when she says it, she just says it as a reply. She's like, oh, yeah. She says it as like, oh, it's just my history. But he doesn't. I feel like he says it as a sense of like validation.
At one point, one of the episodes, he talked about his insecurities, that he's had so many insecurities. And it's like he is doing anything and everything to be like, pay attention to me. Someone pay attention to me. I am important. And it's like, why do you only date white people? What about all the other races? Fine, you don't want to date brown people, but there's other races as well. What are you saying? White is better than Hispanic, blacks, everything, Asians? Like, nope, only white only. Where are all the other races?
Weird. Isn't that weird? Isn't that suspicious?
Like, no one else is good
Sounds
enough for
very
you
familiar.
except white? That's it?
Right?
Like, what are you
White
trying to say?
blondes. White blondes, man, too. This guy, whew, I don't know. And
He has a type.
and it's funny why he keeps saying blonde and then switches back and forth to white people. I think initially he wanted to say blondes, and the producers are like, you need to be more specific, and make him change it to
Blondes
white.
would have been better than white people.
Yes.
I would have preferred if he said, I like blondes. Okay, you have a type. You like blondes. You don't
Right.
like brunettes. Cool. But when
can
you start
change your hair
saying
color,
white
bro.
people, like,
Correct.
that just sounds very racist.
Yeah. It was very uncomfortable. It was
Yeah.
gross. I don't know, man. It's very uncomfortable, and like it's weird because like there's so many people commenting on them, right? And it's awkward when people who are not Indian are like, no, it's just a preference. It's like you don't understand the subtext, right? You can't go into a brown person's and tell them, hey, this is not what you're really seeing when you're a white person. And it's kind of like, you'll never understand. You don't know what we've been through. And internalized racism is different for every race. It's not exactly the same, right? There's some that comes from slavery. There's some that comes from the partition. There's some that comes from colonization. It's all very different in nuance. And you can't just paint one brush over the whole thing. And it's definitely something that I feel like Indian people notice real quick. Desi people notice real quick. And other people are blind to it. And they're like, listen, you can add to the conversation, but you can't dismiss a brown person saying, hey, this is what we think is happening. I feel like there's a difference there.
I'm surprised people dismissing people of that. Like,
Yeah, people are like, no, it's just a preference. It's just a preference. It's not a big deal. And they were like, oh, maybe they live in a place where there's all white people. I'm like, bro, they live in Chicago. Have you ever been to Devon Street? Like, come on. Chicago has the best Indian food in the country next to Houston. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think
You
there's
can't
that
tell-
many.
thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I don't know. I don't buy that
don't
they're
believe
only, they grew up only around white people. I don't buy that.
No.
But even
Chicago
if they
is
did,
extremely
where did they
diverse. I lived
grow
there for a
up?
few
Middle of
months.
like Kentucky or something? That there's one other color around besides white?
Yes, we're everywhere.
There are.
So there has to be color, but it's like, nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
for
makes
sure.
us better. So I only like white people. No one else.
Wait, Neebs, what were you saying about Antarctica?
Oh, I said like brown people. We're everywhere, man. You can't go without. I went to Antarctica and there was brown people there. There's scientists in Antarctica that are doing studies and they're brown. So there's not a single continent here that doesn't have brown people.
Very
I
true.
agree with you. I just feel like the way he said it was really weird. And you're right. It kind of like doesn't matter. Like you can date like whoever you want, but it's just the way that it was said was just the
Like I'm
context of
better
it was.
than brown people. They're like
Yeah.
below me. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course she had to agree. She had to follow that right away. Yeah, me too. Like I've only dated white people or blondes or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? She literally had blonde streaks in her hair when he said that. Like she could have just been
She
like,
did.
yeah,
She's
I'm
like,
blonde.
yes, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. He's talking about me. I got you, boo. You can call me
That's
whatever
the world
you
I want
want.
to live in. That's the world I want to live in, where somebody says I like blondes, and an Indian girl says, "Oh, cool, that means me."
Blonde, me.
Why not?
Yes, exactly. I know exactly.
Right? Look at Sheena right now with her blonde hair. Look at
She's
that.
like, me. Once you get rid of her, I'm here.
Exactly.
I got the blonde hair for you. I'm out. Shake, I'm sorry. Sticking with my brown hair.
Yo, what about Shake's mom though? Let's give Shake's mom props.
Yo, yes. She was amazing.
Yo, she put that motherfucker.
Oh,
in
I
her
was
place,
so
in his place.
happy
Round of
when I saw
applause.
her. His
She said it
face.
so nicely too. She said it like a mom. She was like, she's like, boy, I'm actually kind of siding with her at the moment, and like she don't deserve 1% less. I was like, damn, go ahead, auntie, go ahead.
Yeah, give it to him, Auntie.
It's so rare to see that, especially with like, we know the trope, like,
Yes.
you know, brown boys and their mom, they can never leave them, and see that, I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's the best.
Dang.
It was the best
Finally,
moment
not a
of the show.
God's gift.
It's a
A brown man that's not God's gift to his mother.
But how'd he turn out like this? His mom is so cool. His dad's cool. How'd he turn out like this? His dog's even cool. I don't understand how he turned out like this.
Yeah.
Neves, there's no dog that's not cool.
Okay.
That's true.
I'm just saying it's weird for him to turn out like this, and because I don't know, I guess it's
Is
one of
it
the things like
though?
even
Because
having
he was overweight. They mentioned that slightly, that he was very overweight when he was growing up.
Ooh.
So that's why he
yeah,
doesn't like bigger females, because he used to be overweight.
So I think
he has a lot of insecurities, and he probably was bullied by white people. So it's like, and rejected by brown people. So it's like seeking acceptance. I'm going to date your females. And that's it. Because it's seeking acceptance over and over again.
I feel like because he was fat and then got skinny, I think he's fat phobic. Because he kept asking so many questions about weight, and it would kind of explain why he's not into Deepti anymore. Because it was right after he saw her in a bathing suit. Like, I don't know. Even though she looks great and she looks amazing, she's not fat at all. Yeah. But I think in his mind, he thinks she is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in his mind, he thinks she is. I think he has this weird, status of like what a female body should look like, and it's in his head, and he can't unthink it.
So
it's
men
weird.
like him with the insecurities and the fat phobia and all of that, they want a trophy on their arm, because it's not for a partner. They want it to be, oh, look how great that man is, he got her, so he must be great because he has this hot model looking girl. And it's like, no.
Did he start saying all this stuff because the first time I heard it was at the dinner, and did you think it might because he saw all the other girls?
What do you mean?
And they went to the little party where they got to meet everybody else, right? When you finally get to meet the other people, and that's the first time he saw the other girls. And do you think he's like comparing Deepti to them, and that's why he doesn't think she's a trophy anymore? When he first saw her, he was like, "Oh, this is somebody way out of my league." And then he saw who everybody else got, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't feel as special." And it's not even has anything to do with her looks. It's the fact that someone else got a nicer, shinier toy in his mind.
Yep, and there's always going to be a nicer, shinier toy, always. And a younger model.
Always. I don't know. It's very sus.
It's sad, really, too.
Do you think they're gonna make
trauma.
No, they're not going to make it.
They're not going to make
it. If I have to walk into that wedding myself and stop it, I will.
And like rescue her.
I will rescue her. I will rescue Deepti like DDLJ and be like, Rukja.
So can we talk about, I felt bad for Deepti when everybody got to shop and get their wedding dress. And Deepti was like rooting for everybody when they were getting their dresses, and she had to go with her friend by herself to that Indian place to get her lehenga.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she's by herself.
It wasn't at the same place?
No.
She got a lehenga. She didn't go to a white place.
Yeah, but no one went with her. I was like, why didn't the camera crew go? She had to make video. It looked like she made the video on her phone, and she was filming it herself with her friend. Yeah, because
I'm so dumb. I thought it was the same place.
I was anticipating. I was like, okay, what is she going to do? Are they going to bring lehengas there? How are they going to film this? Because I knew she was going to wear...
That could be due to like not getting permission from the shows and the designers that are there, because a lot of Indian designers will not give permission for their stuff to be photographed.
Yeah, so I just wish some of the girls went with her, because she was rooting for all the girls. She's like, yeah, guys, go. You look so great. I wish someone went with her. She just had one person with her. She seems like a really great like team player for all the girls, rooting for everybody's success. Like I just felt bad during that.
But can we just like say that like her dress is the best dress? Like hell yeah. Shout out to Daisy Culture, because y'all cannot fuck with us when it comes to wedding dresses.
No, not you guys, the girls.
Yeah,
the girls' outfits. Let's
gorgeous accessories on our wedding days.
Like, you guys know.
Shervanis are dope too. Let's not play.
They are, but then the girls' outfits. It's where
I'm comparing them to other cultures. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'm biased. Like, we kill it.
All I'm hearing is I should put on a Sherwani right now.
Go.
And I gotta give her.
Who are you getting married to? He's like, outfit change. Be right back.
I gotta give her one more. I gotta give her one more shout out. Her earrings, statement pieces throughout the show. So another reason why I think she's like a little bit more in touch with her culture is that every time, even when she walked on the show, she has like these like Indian touch or like South Asian touch earrings that she wears throughout the show. So like a little shout out. It's really cool, like a little touch. I saw a little Om ring that she wears as well. that was zoomed in on a couple of times throughout the show. So I'm like, she's a little bit more in touch with her culture, I feel like.
The thing between her and Shake is she is proud of who she is. She's not running away, pretending like she's not Indian. And she's like, I own it. Oh, damn. Outfit change. He's ready for some girl to say Kabul have.
Are we doing this? Well, like, I can put on my reception lehenga right now. I just got married, so.
He's like,
we can compete right now.
It's happening.
30-minute fiance. We got our own show.
Right. But here's the thing, right? I feel like there's a big difference between when guys date white girls and when girls date white guys, because I do feel like majority of the time, it's not, and I don't want to generalize, but I would say a lot of the time, guys are doing it for white validation. It's a status thing. But since all these guys are dating these white girls for this reason, it kind of leaves less men around for the Desi girls, right? And it's almost like a way of form of self-preservation. Like, all right, not a lot of Desi guys are into Desi girls. I'm just gonna go ahead and date white guys. I feel like it's two different things. I don't think, because she was perfectly happy. She was not surprised that he was Desi. She was totally into it. She was ready to go. He was kind of like, I don't usually go for Desi girls, but I'm gonna make an exception for you. Like, you know, this one Indian girl has a good vibe, so I'll make an exception for her. She's just okay with anybody. So I think there's a big difference between her and him.
Ashamed of her culture. She just has a preference for white because that's all she has dated. It's not because I go for white only. Where he is ashamed of his culture and ashamed of everything. That's why I'm Shake Shack and she's Thieves now. And it's like he's like ashamed of being brown.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see.
He needs to learn from me.
Any evidence.
Put on Sherwani once in a while.
What was that, Jazz?
He needs to learn from me and put on a Sherwani once in a while.
Oh yeah. Maybe he can let him borrow yours.
I think he does at the wedding, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Will he though, or will he show up in a suit?
I bet it's gonna be like the most European suit styled Sherwani I've ever seen.
Like the tails suit, a hybrid version of that.
So who do you? Okay, I don't think they're gonna make it, but who do you think is gonna call it off? Do you think Deepti's gonna call it off, or do you think Shake Shack's gonna call it off?
Shake Shack. She's too insecure to call
Shake
it
Shack.
off.
Or do you think they'll go through with it?
No,
Shake Shack will call it off.
Yeah.
I think Deepti's gonna call it off.
I hope
I'm rooting for Deepti, but I think
it's the story. I'm telling you, it's the story, man. It's the story America wants to see, and it's the story the producers are gonna push. I feel it. I
hope she fights for it because I mean the amount of stuff he said.
But they're gonna make him call it off. Otherwise, he won't get the hate that he needs and the show ratings.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
So much hate.
No, it's for sure gonna be him. He wants a shinier toy.
Yeah.
And like, Rara said, it's not gonna be.
I like that too.
I don't think she has a confidence.
You know what?
For
it might be both, but I think she'll beat him to the punch. I think that's what's gonna happen. I hope that's.
We're rooting for you.
I hope so too. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, same.
I really do hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but all we know is Shake. We're gonna come beat you up.
We are.
All right.
I will hope you heal psychologically so you're not ashamed of being Desi anymore. And you don't date white people only. You date all colors.
Listen, Shake, if you are listening to this podcast, please reach out to Sarah and say, watch with Neve, and you get a 10% discount. Promo code.
That Neve will be paying for you.
Of course.
I will pay out of my
in your case
but
specifically.
in the end, you'll walk away not being ashamed and being happy.
That's right. And that's what we want. We want everyone to learn from this experience and grow and become better people. And here's the thing, man. We got to remember, internalized racism, we're not the cause of internalized racism. We're the victims of internalized racism, right? It's something that happened to us, right? So even though it's okay to make fun of them, it's okay to critique them, we can even be mad at them, we can call them out, we can make sure they're accountable for everything they're doing, but we should also have empathy, and that needs to be added to the conversation. So with that, that's all I have to say. So that's the end of the episode, guys. Say bye, guys.